Welcome back to Primary Source China Investment. On Friday, China's leader Xi Jinping sent the stocks of Alibaba and Tencent up sharply as he called for a meeting with a number of private business leaders. Even Jack Ma may come in from the woods. It might signal a shift in Xi's thinking. But our topic this week on show T7 is how it's not easy to make money even with great Chinese companies. We hear a lot about DJI, the undisputed leader in drone technology, and everybody's heard about DeepSeek's shot around the world, are just the two most recent examples. It seems the founder of DeepSeek is doing quite well for himself. Unfortunately, DJI and DeepSeek are private. But surely there must be some public companies that the masses can buy and tag along with these best-in-class Chinese tech that's emerging. And today we're going to look at a few examples and how it's not that easy to tag along. And there are some fantastic companies, and some that are familiar and some that maybe not. First up is BYD, the Warren Buffett-approved Tesla killer. If we look at this chart over the last 15 years or so, it is incredible. There is so much insanity in this chart, it's hard to know where to start. If you bought at the IPO and stayed, you're rich, like Warren Buffett and Wang Chuanfu, the CEO. But you had to hold for 10 years. It's a lot like the Amazon story. Remember, Amazon was flat for a long time. It lost a ton of money, and you had to hold on. But if you weren't early and you got the buzz of BYD when Tesla went to China, you could have easily been whipsawed up or down. Massive moves. And it takes a strong stomach to hold from 320 down to 160, only to rebound to 345. So Pengwa, the question is, right now, trading at an all-time high, is BYD a buy?
That's definitely a good question. So we talk about this for almost 4 years. So firstly, China's volatility is not your affordable. So buy and hold definitely is not working. And try to time in the market, obviously, is not everyone's strength to do it. It's pretty unique and different market. But I think a good thing that, like you said, as long as you know BYD is easy to buy it or is that your target, so you have to get focused and should understand when you should to buy it. Like the last quarter, so before the China National Day in 2024, so the market suddenly getting bounce up. So that's why it really not really means you make money. It really means the bottom market bottom is already get identified.
Absolutely. And, our point this week is there are some great names coming out. And, we just talked about BYD, but, if that's too much volatility, how about the leading company in the robotics revolution, UB Tech Robotics, traded in Hong Kong, backed by none other than Teaming Ventures, the leading Chinese venture capital firm. UB Tech went public in December of 2023 and currently trades below its IPO price. It ripped in the first few months and subsequently fell back down to earth. And, maybe robotics is too leading edge. How about something more mundane, sort of maybe vacuum cleaners? Roborock is ranked among the best, not in China, but on the planet. Even the old gray lady, the New York Times, called it the best vacuum they'd ever tested. Again, it went public in February of 2020, and since then, it went to 500, crashed back to 16, and is now back over its IPO price. You want any of that action? It's just insane volatility, exactly what you're talking about. And Pengwa, I would be remiss if I didn't dump on Alibaba because this is my favorite punching bag. Because from IPO to today, it's flat. That's more than a decade. And this is a fantastic company. They chased eBay out of China and Amazon. These companies with strong earnings, constant growth, should be trading at their all-time high. Instead, Alibaba is trading 60% off its all-time high. Pinduoduo is down 32% from its all-time high. Jingdong is down 58% from its all-time high. Baidu down 66%. Tencent down 36%. So I think your point is extremely valid. The market is way too volatile. And even though these are great companies, it's really hard for retail investors to make money consistently. I mean, if you compare these names to US names, the NASDAQ, whatever, the Fantastic Seven or Great Eight or however you want to label them in the US, these are companies that reward shareholders. And this is what we're talking about, rewarding shareholders. And we talked about it time and time again. Great companies can sometimes make horrible stocks.
That's exactly right. So reward the shareholders, I think there's definitely the weakness in the China market. So even like the M7, they saw for almost 10 years. But the China tech companies, no matter what kind of industry, they are still, they can even trade below the IPO price. And that means they have the cheapest AI stock in the world. In my opinion, that should be the two things people need to be focused. Number one, you need to track such kind of the index and the industry. So I just realized all the existing indices have some kind of the bias. They didn't track those emerging industry, or the China have a special advantage industry very well, which is totally different from the traditional one. The answer is not difficult. See the China's government, the policy report, and see the leading companies in each subsectors. Like China right now, they have the complete industrial chain. They have 44 large sector and almost 407 subsector, as well as the 666 industry group. So very complicated things you need to understand which one should be tracked. And number two is why you track those kind of things. Try to track the uptrend. So and then figure out how to allocate, and not spend too much time on timing the market. Otherwise, you will be timing the market almost every day. Yeah, that would be painful for most Western investors.
Just my opinion here. I think it has to do with shareholder rights.
Yeah.
Founders and special shares issued to the government have outsized influence. And remember, all of these entrepreneurs got rich. It doesn't necessarily mean the shareholders got rich.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, we're going to leave it there for show T7. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.